I'm Adam Anshel for Pro Football Weekly, along with PFW draft expert Nolan Nawrocki, as we take a look at Nolan's mock draft. The very bottom picks 26 through 32 of version 2.0. And Nolan, we have the 26th pick, the Baltimore Ravens. Where do you see him going with the pick?
Well, defensive line would make a lot of sense here, just given the age up front. They lost Trevor Price last year, and Kelly Gregg's getting very old. Muhammad Wilkerson doesn't grade out like a true first-round talent, but he's a guy that has a lot of upside as a 5 technique. That can play outside and really help support the run. I think he's a guy that's gradually gained some momentum in the scouting process, and a guy that could fit very well in Baltimore.
Yeah, you see him moving up, and obviously defense at Baltimore, it seems like they just go together. At number 27, the Atlanta Falcons, a great regular season, but a disappointing end. They find more help for Matt Ryan?
I think they've been looking for a tight end for the last couple of years, trying to find somebody that they could groom underneath Tony Gonzalez, let him teach him how to be a pro. He's a guy that comes to work every day, sets a great example. And I think, the influence that he can make on a guy like Lance Kendricks would be phenomenal. So if they can get him in there for another year and then pass over the torch gradually, it would just be a great transition for the Falcons.
Number 28, New England Patriots with another pick. We know if they've taken one pick, they're probably going to trade this one, but where do you see him going if they keep it?
Yeah, I think this is the spot where, Bill Belichick and Nick Casario are going to be working the phones hard and they'll find somebody looking to come up. And with Jake Locker still available, he's the guy that I think teams are going to be looking to come up for, whether it's Washington or another team still in need of a quarterback. If he's sitting there, this is the spot where they move, and it's hard to project somebody at the spot without knowing. But we went with Jake Locker, knowing that he's likely not going to New England.
So if you hear Jake Locker at number 28, it probably means someone else is getting this pick. Tom Brady doesn't need to worry. Number 29, the Chicago Bears. A surprising run there to the NFC Championship. They got needs on both sides of the ball as well. Where do they go?
I think they're looking hard at defensive tackle or offensive guard, one of those two positions. And with the defensive tackle board essentially being wiped out at this spot, I think the offensive tackle position or guard, where Orlando Franklin from Miami projects, would be a natural. Franklin's a very tough, nasty, physical player. Really fits the Mike Tice profile, what he looks for in an offensive lineman. And I think if he's sitting there, the Bears could consider him.
Number 30, the New York Jets. We see a pretty good run there, very boastful, rambunctious group. Where do you see them going with this pick?
Well, they got some needs up front on the defense, but they also have a glaring hole at left guard where they struggled last year. Vlade DeCosta didn't come through. Matt Slauson struggled. I think they're going to move DeCosta to right tackle. Still have a need at left guard where Danny Watkins from Baylor would really fit well. He's a physical, nasty guy, former firefighter, so I think he'd fit in well with that. That tenacity they look for on the offensive line.
An interesting prospect there, one of the older players in the draft, was a hockey player, but now coming in could be effective. At 31, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost in the Super Bowl. We know they had a lot of problems with injuries and play on that offensive line throughout the year. Is that the way they go?
Yeah, they got to find a way to upgrade the offensive line, whether it's guard or tackle. I think they're set with Marquise Pouncey in the middle, but they got to find some more players around them. And Derek Sherrod's a guy from Mississippi State, a guy that could play a number of positions, whether it's a right tackle, left tackle, or a guard. I think teams got him graded at different places. He's a guy that could easily fit into that lineup for the Steelers.
And finally, the Super Bowl champions, the Green Bay Packers. We saw a ton of injuries throughout the season, yet that depth showed itself, and they were still able to play well. Just adding more depth here, where do they go?
Well, there's two guys that really created the pass rush for him, and it was Clay Matthews coming off the edge and Colin Jenkins coming from the inside. So I think Justin Houston from Georgia is a guy that could line up opposite Clay Matthews and bring some more pressure. He tested through the charts at the Combine, showed up at 6'3", 270 pounds, and ran a 4.64. So he's a guy that really has the measurables that Ted Thompson seeks. I think he would be a good fit for their 3-4 front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to build all that talent and if it'll pay off again with another Super Bowl title. We appreciate it. Nolan, for more info on all of these draft prospects, be sure to check out our draft book. You can order at ProFootballWeekly.com.